making a citizen's arrest. Is that a good idea? We're going to talk about Joe's latest blog topic next.
But first, maybe you've heard of good old Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Well, his company was banned because he stood against the cancel culture mob. What happened to MyPillow is not right. Our freedom of speech is just as important as our freedom of self-defense. We are thrilled to support an American company like MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code FREEMARKET3 and get up to a 66% off America's best pillow. Get a great night's sleep and enjoy the satisfaction of supporting companies fighting against cancel culture. That's MyPillow.com and use promo code FREEMARKET3. All right, Joe.
Okay, that's it. I jump right in here.
You can just jump right in. Both feet.
So, this week we're talking about making a citizen's arrest, and is that a good idea? And the subject came up this week. So I was thinking about, as we were talking about it, I'm thinking, it's probably a good little thing to write about. So that idea of making a citizen's arrest, everybody's probably heard of that, probably from a movie or from TV or something like that. But is it a real thing? And, and is it a good idea? So it is, in fact, a real thing, which is interesting. There's statutes that cover that in most of the 50 states, I think all the 50 states, certainly in California. And it's actually pretty straightforward as to, how it, or what they say, basically. It's 3 lines. And it's interesting because this has been around in California since 1872. And I think the idea it probably sounded like a good idea years ago when law enforcement was, hours, if not days away. So maybe something like that was a good thing. But they're real specific about it. And, it says basically a person may arrest another person for a public offense committed or attempted in his presence, or when a person has committed a felony, although the person arresting doesn't need to see that, or when a felony has in fact been committed and you believe that the person you're arresting has, you have a reasonable belief that he has committed the felony. And what's interesting, it sounds like a pretty straightforward thing, but if you think about it, what could go wrong? And like a million different things can go wrong with doing that. And it's really a bad idea. But if you just think about it and break it apart, first off, there's a difference, I guess, between an infraction and a misdemeanor. And for the citizen's arrest thing, you can arrest someone apparently for a misdemeanor, but not an infraction. And, as a citizen, do you have that training? Do you know what that is? Can you tell the difference? Because the legal jeopardy, if you do something like that or try to detain someone and you're not warranted in doing that, the possibility of you now committing a crime, of you committing assault or something like that is very good. Even aside from the legal part of it, the civil jeopardy. If you injure someone trying to do something like that, and again, you're not warranted, there's all sorts of civil jeopardy that you expose yourself to. And, for law enforcement, it's a different thing because law enforcement has a different mission. And because they have a different mission, they have different rules. Law enforcement is trained in that. They're trained in the laws and applying the laws. They're trained in how to arrest somebody or put somebody in custody or take somebody into custody. And if, as a civilian, you don't have that. They've got, what else was I going to think about with this thing? Gosh, it's slipping my mind here. So the term I'm looking for, I can't believe I can't think of it.
Don't you love that?
No, it's qualified immunity. Gosh, that's what I'm trying to think of. Something police officers have because of the job they have to do. You don't have that. Police officers have backup. They have training. They have lots of things like that. As a civilian, you don't have that. And there's the other thing. The person you're trying to arrest, what if they don't want to be arrested? Because, again, police officers have lots of other options to doing that. You as a civilian really don't have those kinds of options. And there really isn't, especially if you think about this in the terms of an armed civilian, say a concealed carrier, you really don't have anything because, okay, it can escalate. You have to remember this as something that we always talk about with concealed carry is since you're armed, there's always the possibility of things escalating up to a deadly force kind of thing because you're carrying deadly force. And really trying to make some kind of citizen's arrest or trying to detain someone, especially someone that does not want to be detained, you don't really have many options with that. So it's really kind of a supremely bad idea to think about that. I mean, it might sound like a good idea, watching it on TV or seeing it in a movie or something like that. But in real life, it's a terrible idea to think about doing a citizen's arrest. I think the best thing to be is a good citizen, a good witness, a good responsible gun owner, and call 911, call the police, let the professionals deal with it. But it's interesting that that is a possibility. It is a real thing, and they have that statute. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, or have you experienced any of that, or ever seen anyone do that?
What is your opinion of a citizen doing a citizen's arrest?
So a citizen's arrest, like you were saying, I think a lot of people assume it's like I can physically put my body on this person and say I'm arresting you, and then the police get here and all that works. That is not at all how it works. And like you said, there is a lot of potential consequences for the person doing that that they might not know about. On our end of it, it's basically, if at least at the misdemeanor level, I'll talk about if it did not happen in our presence, there's really nothing we can do about it. So, perfect example, we get these all the time, trespassing calls. Someone's on my property, I don't want them here. While we're on our way there, obviously we want to respond to that, but we ask our dispatchers all the time, does the reporting party want to press charges? A lot of the times they'll say yes, and sometimes it's under the pressure of thinking the police won't come if I don't tell them yes. Because basically if they're not willing to press charges and we don't have anything that we can enforce separate from that, there's nothing we can do. If someone does want to press charges, we explain how that process works. And a lot of them, they'll say yes and this, and we get our paperwork, and we're facilitating the paperwork, really, is what it is. We explain to them, their side of having to go to court and all of that, and then the person gets issued that ticket, and they get to leave. A lot of the time, the reporting party is very upset because they're like, why aren't they going to jail? Why aren't they going to this? And
right.
We told them it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, what if I witness somebody beating up somebody else? Because you see it on the news all the time now. The people in the public just sit there and watch the guy, beat somebody else half to death. So if that person was to jump in and stop him without saying you're under arrest, where does that put that person that jumped into the middle of it?
I think being a good citizen and just wanting to do the right thing to help somebody, that's what's going to be taken into consideration is, now that you're part of it, we have to look at the totality of the entire circumstance.
So I'm sitting on him and he can't get up, and I'm not going to let him get up till you get there.
And it's interesting you say that, because if this person is now injured, the suspect, so to speak, because of something you did, even though it's an act of self-defense, they also have that option to press charges on you.
Gotcha.
In the event neither of you want to press charges, and that's all it is, maybe a good bar fight or something, we call that pretty much mutual combat. Everyone just go your separate way, and that's it.
Wow.
But you can equally be put in that same position if they want
to. So
it
puts you in a really sticky situation if you see, I'm just going to say, a guy beating up on a girl, a defenseless woman.
Different, a little bit different. That goes into domestic violence. That one we take very separately. Right. Yes.
Best thing to do is don't come out of your house. Just stay in it the rest of your life.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.